Good morning, internets, and welcome to the Zim Awards. I have a lot to say, so I'm going to reference my notes here. The Zim Awards is an award ceremony to celebrate the fans of Invader Zim, a show that is beloved by so many people. And despite Nickelodeon's best efforts, Invader Zim just won't die. My name is Bryce Barnett, and I'm the creator of the YouTube channel Invader Zim Lost and Found, with the purpose of uploading the first 8 of the unfinished Invader Zim episodes for the 10th anniversary of Invader Zim. With the help of multiple Invader Zim fan animators, I was able to put their animations of the Invader Zim unfinished episodes together and fill in the remaining animation myself. And sure enough, the morning of the 10th anniversary of Invader Zim, the animations were completed and were privately aired during a complete series marathon, watching the entire show from beginning to end in one day, and having the unfinished episodes to be a big surprise at the end. 15 years later is now the 25th anniversary of Invader Zim. The fandom has grown so much to the point that so many other creators have decided to do the same thing, finishing their own versions of unfinished episodes, or sometimes finished episodes, as a gift for the fandom to enjoy. Now, I wasn't the very first to start doing this. That would go to the Invader Zim fan animated series and Soapy Waffles as well. Recently, a lot of artists and fandom have been coming together within our Invader Zim Lost and Found community on Discord to help continue unfinished episodes of Invader Zim. So much work has gone into their production, and I thought that they deserved an award ceremony of their own. So we originally intended the Zim Awards to be a special acknowledgement of the amazing artists that we have on our team. And we quickly realized that the Zim Awards can be something much more. There are so many dedicated, talented fans out there that deserve recognition, and because a rising tide raises all boats, we decided to turn this into a show recognizing everybody. And we wanted to make sure that we did the very first one on the 25th anniversary of Invader Zim. So here we are. Now, because of our limited circle of the fandom, we were only able to nominate people that we knew of in our immediate vicinity. We recognize that there are definitely very talented artists out there that also deserve recognition for Invader Zim fan talent as well. And we simply didn't know about them on such short notice. Also, this award show is only recognizing the Invader Zim artists of 2025. Don't all Zim artists over the past 25 years deserve to be recognized as well? Well, we think so too. So let this year's Invader Zim Awards be the announcement for what's coming in 2027. On the 26th anniversary of Invader Zim, so 1 year from today, we will continue this as an annual award ceremony. But specifically next year, we will not only be recognizing all the talented artists of 2026, but we will have a separate section altogether that will be recognizing all the Zim fan categories of all time. So let this be your 1 year in advance heads up. Anyone that you would like to nominate for next year, whether it be in 2026 or from 2001 to the present, will be eligible to receive a nomination and a Zimmy, the award that goes to the winner of the respected categories at the Zim Awards. Next year will be the only award show that we will have recognition of an all-time category, and the following years will be recognizing the artists of the year prior. To submit somebody for a nomination, go to the Google form linked below in the description, and you can submit your nominee or show support for another nominee that has already been submitted. Submissions end on January 1st, 2027. This year is the very first Zim Awards. And just like Invader Zim is a comedy, or for some people might call it a tragedy, this award show will also be a comedic tragedy. So from this moment on, please don't take anything we say on this show as official statements that reflect the thoughts and feelings of our group Invader Zim Lost and Found. We will almost certainly be joking, so consider this show to be satire. It's important to state that very clearly because some of our viewers are on the spectrum. Well, let's be real, almost all of our viewers are on the spectrum, as Invader Zim is our hyperfixation. And as someone who is autistic, I'm allowed to make that joke. As Invader Zim Lost and Found was being established as a powerhouse of the Invader Zim fandom and the host of the Zim Awards, the current leader of the fan service that helped get Invader Zim to come back as a movie, Invader Zim Enter the Florpus, also known as Operation Head Pigeons, Control Brain Johnny told us that as long as we don't call our group a family, we're going to be fine. So instead of calling us a family, I'd like to call this an illness. Nickelodeon didn't know that when they made Invader Zim 25 years ago, it would inflict so many people with the illness of Zim-itis. There is no cure for this, but at least knowing that is half the battle. With the only hope of this illness ending might have to be Nickelodeon bringing back Invader Zim to conclude the series. We will continue to be here to bang the drum until Invader Zim comes back one way or another. So let me introduce you to the drum itself. Welcome to the Zim Awards.
Ah, the beloved fan song. So much work and effort goes into each and every one of these, from the background music, to the lyrics, to the composition of it all. They're a spectacle of the fandom for a reason, and not for the faint of heart. But if you're lucky enough, even the officials will recognize and acknowledge your song. These works of art have so much labor and love put into them, and they deserve to be rewarded for all the hard work. So without further ado, the nominees are... It's Gerd by Marissa Barnett.
It's Gerd, go Gerd, gonna push a button to save the world. Look at him, he's so cool, he can do anything, watch him twirl. It's Gerd.
And Invader Zim Remastered theme song by Joe Love. And the winner is... Invader Zim Remastered theme song by Joe Love!
Hey guys, Joe Love here. I just want to thank you so much for voting for my theme song for the Zim Awards. I'm super excited for you guys to see Invader Zim Lost and Found, and I'm just very grateful to win. So, thank you all so much.
Congratulations to Joe for making such a rocking reimagination of the theme song, and congratulations to all the nominees. Here's to more awesome music for the next year.
Queer. Oh my god!
He stole my shit! Get him!
Invader Zim the series has become so popular that YouTube creators have created their own shows about Invader Zim that have also turned into series. These creators decided to not make just one Invader Zim video, but have committed to continually upload about Invader Zim on a consistent basis. This is a level of dedication that I wish Nickelodeon had for its own show Invader Zim. Here are the nominees for Best Episodic Invader Zim themed YouTube series. Gur Gaming Nights by Sarah Left Games and Lady Zeno. Invader Zim React by Quirky Quota. The Swollen Eyeball Studies by Lady Zeno. Gaz Gaming Gallery by Hibiscus and Flamgo's Crashpad. Zimmy Goes to Swollen Eyeball Studies by Lady Zeno.
Greetings everyone. Sorry about my voice. I have been sick. Long before I was a Zim fan, I knew what I knew about the series because of YouTube videos talking about it. However, in the 9 years since joining the fandom, there's been a disturbing lack of content analyzing Invader Zim. There's also been lies, misinterpretation, and a whole lot of just surface level scraping that doesn't scratch my special interest itch. I couldn't be more proud to be the channel to finally change that. The Swollen Eyeball Studies will only get better from here, and someday they'll pave the way for even more higher quality content about Invader Zim, like scripted art style breakdowns and character studies. Thank you all for watching, and a special thank you to my fellow Talis for talking way too much.
Viewers, it is I, Zim! These 25 years of being adored by brainless TV slaves just like you have been an honor. And it's all thanks to Invader Zim, the show, starring me, Zim! And it has a problem. On widescreen monitors, I look too puny. There's so much more space that could be used to show off my greatness, yet it goes to waste. Well, waste it goes no more, all thanks to these human drones who have spent countless, horrible hours turning my 4x3 show into a 16x9 masterpiece. And I didn't even have to hypnotize them for it. Zim gives no thanks to these Earth monkeys, but just this once, the best graded performance will be acknowledged. The nominees are Hibiscus's remaster of the tallest affectionately headbutting me, Lady Xeno's remaster of the Invasion logo, Flamgo's remaster of me making my zilly entrance, and Hibiscus again who remastered the title or something. And the winner is my entrance. I knew the voters couldn't resist my amazing presence on screen. As a token of appreciation, Flamgo will receive 1 extra hour in my lair's ball pit. Feel honored!
Stop it! Hi everyone, Flamgo here. Sorry for my audio quality. I don't have one of those handheld mics, so I'm making do with this flower. Anyhow, I want to thank you all for voting for my Invader Zim Remastered shot of Zim jumping up on stage. Fun fact, this is the first shot of Invader Zim Remastered I did, and it was quite frankly the easiest. All the other ones threw a can in my head. It hurt. But worry not, I will continue to have cans thrown at my head as I remaster more shots of Invader Zim and make it even more awesome than it already is. I can't imagine a show that would deserve it more. Well, maybe except for... Greetings, mighty Urkin soldiers. Now, popular opinion among not even Zim fans, but fandoms altogether, seem to agree that fan animations truly carry communities. Fan animations are what a good fraction of people see when they're just dipping their toes into a fandom. Fan animations are truly the main spreader of the illness known as Zimitis. And into every frame, every scene goes a little bit of love, or a little bit of hate. And it's my honor to introduce to you all the nominees and winner for the Best Fan Animation Creator of the Zim Awards. In third place, we have the Spooky Unicornus. In second place, we have Airy 9. And in first place, the winner of this category goes to Hibiscus EDT. Congratulations to everyone who got nominated, and especially to the winner. Your talent is what spreads the illness, and what spreads the propaganda. Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Make sure they watch the entire video, Gurr. The fate of our mission depends on it. I love
this show.
Whether it's by streaming, physical release, or a television broadcast, none of us would be here today if there wasn't a way to watch Invader Zim in the first place. This category awards the best available way to experience the show. Note that we're not paid to talk about any of these. The nominees are Paramount Plus, the streaming home of Invader Zim as well as the other Nicktoons. Netflix, the only place to watch Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. Amazon, where Invader Zim can be digitally purchased or rented. The complete series DVDs, including their bonus features. And the one and only Invader Zim Blu-ray, only in Germany, and in standard definition. And the winner is... the DVDs! What do you know, it's 2026 and physical media still reigns supreme after all. What do you have to say about that, autographed collector's box set? Woo! Step forward, presenter of the next category.
Hi, I'm Jace, also known as Weirdo Jace. Parts of the internet know me as the person from Needle Juice Records. I'm known for being in a band called Nuclear Bubble Wrap, but I have been involved in the Invader Zim fandom for a very, very long time. I was pretty much part of it right when the show got canceled. I was a big member of the Room with a Moose forums and the Worm Baby forums. I'm not the same Jace that ran the Worm Baby forums, by the way. That was a different Jace. And yeah, I was around when the staff would commonly post on these forums and such. I was a little bit involved in the very early days of the Invader Zim fan animated series, but I wasn't really a part of it when it really did anything. And I also had a little Invader Zim fan site posted on Buzzy World. Invader Buzzy being the owner of the hosting of that website. He had a forum that I was also active on, and he was also responsible for digging up the original draft of the trial that originally leaked. And I had a website on Buzzy World called the Amazing Invader Zim fan site, and it was a decently viewed website. It was a favorite for some people. It had a lot of interesting stuff on it that I thought was fun. Namely, it had little ways that you could ask questions directly to the staff members, namely Steve Russell and Jason Stiff. So I was really involved in the Invader Zim fandom in the early days, and still am a huge Invader Zim fan, and I still lurk in a lot of places, although, you know, I don't post enough to really be recognizable anymore these days because my life is so busy, but that's who I am, and I've been involved for forever, and I'm excited to present some awards for you. The nominees for Best Fan Art for 2025 are ZASR Prom by Lady Zeno, Tallest Moths by Catgon, The Girls Are Fighting by Flamgo's Crash Pad, Zim and Gur by Crunch Control, Reunited by Liz, LIIZZ, and the winner is The Girls Are Fighting by Flamgo's Crash Pad. Thank you, everyone.
Hello everyone, Flamgo's Crash Pad here, also known as Feather Cartoonist on Tumblr. I still don't have a handheld mic, and I want to thank you all so much for voting for my so cleverly titled piece. Now, if you know me on my other social media, you'll know that I've made a lot of fan art for Invader Zim, but you might not know that specific piece was actually one of my favorites until I had to draw Dib. Nonetheless, this is definitely not the last time I'm going to be drawing Zim and Dib being idiots. And I appreciate the love so much, and thank you all.
The next morning, Dib woke up bright and early. He immediately went over to Gaz's room to check on her, who was still fast asleep. He looked around to make sure no one was watching before doing this, but he decided to sit next to her and gently stroke her hair. He gently smiled and said,
Don't worry, Gaz. I'm gonna make sure you're safe for the next several hours. No one's gonna hurt you. Zim can't get to you anymore. After all, you're my little sister. I promise, I'll make sure nothing bad happens to you.
That cute monster. Who annihilated that planet before we found you? A cute, but indestructible creature, created for destruction, leaving a trail of death, and taking the homes of every member of this armada. For that, we have banded together under my leadership, to put an end to his cute wrath.
Dag! I see why Gur listens to you. You and Zim, you sound exactly the same. Almost like you're two completely different characters played by the same voice actor.
As if I really sound that annoying.
Zim and Daggett said perfectly in unison while pointing at each other.
But now that you've mentioned it,
Zim looked over at Gur, who was suddenly cuddling with the robot beaver.
if you've been mimicking me, that explains Gur's weird affinity for you. How dare you steal my voice, rodent!
Apparently, Dad was having similar molasses brain issues because it took him an uncharacteristically long time to reply.
It is?
He took another deep breath.
It is because I call you insane.
And there it was. Dib clenched his eyes shut and gripped hard to his dad's coat.
Yeah, I hate that you think that! I'm not...
His dad gently grasped his shoulders and pushed Dib far enough back so he could look at his face. Or, well, goggles.
No, Dib, never. I never thought you were crazy.
Oh my god! I was expecting to find someone cosplaying as the Mothman! Ooh, I wonder if they know everything about cryptids ever like I do! Should I ask them?
Dib's practically vibrating with sheer excitement and energy his body doesn't know what to do with, his leg bouncing aggressively. Gas can't lie. It's kind of endearing to see her brother so happy. She smiles very, very, very faintly and nods. Sure. She shrugs.
Alright, now one for all of the readers from planets Earth, Ark, Blorch, Beach, or whatever else there is out there. Let's take a look at our top 3 winners for the Zim Awards Best Fanfiction of 2025. First up, for all of you Gaz and Membrane siblings fans out there, we have Lovely Bunny and Nightbat the Cat's The Double Agent. With the added adventure of Zim's new mind control dot, it's no wonder this fanfiction won 3rd place. Congratulations! And next up, we have a fic where siblings fight, eat pizza and play Ponytown whilst gossiping. I mean, that's the only correct way to bond with your sibling, am I right? Well, the Membrane siblings fans are eating well tonight as Let's Eat Pizza and Judge People by Flamgos, Crashpad, and Chad McGladdad score 2nd place. And finally, let's give a massive drum roll for our 1st place contestant of the very first Zim Awards Best Fanfiction of 2025. The first original script to get put into production by the team at Invader Zim Lost and Found, Squishy Hugger World is a prequel and explanation to the events of Invader Zim Enter the Florpus. So let's give it up for Bryce Barnett, Nate McLeod, and Ricky Simmons. Woo!
Thank you guys so much for voting for Squishy Hugger of Worlds. Nate and I took 2.5 years to write it, and honestly, I think it ended up being a lot better because we were able to turn it into the concept art video that released. So it was a watchable version of a fanfic script, and so I couldn't have done that without Flamgo as well. But yeah, Nate and I worked on that for so long, having meetings every week that we were available to meet, and we really wanted to find a way to bridge the gap between the remaining unfinished episodes of Invader Zim Season 2 and then lead that over into the movie Enter the Florpus. And we wanted to try to make it as canon compliant as possible because one of our goals, or this is pretty far-fetched, but we would like to be able to present it to Nickelodeon if they would like to purchase it. Just in case that they do. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but we wanted to make it at least as a passable quality so that they could do that one day. So that was our goal, and I'm happy that you guys thought it was really that good. So thank you so much for voting for Squishy Hugger Worlds for Best Fan Fiction.
Nate here. I just want to say thank you so much for the nomination. I want to start by thanking Bryce. He helped me shape this script into something special, and took us about 2 years to do so, and I'm happy with the outcome. Seeing it make its way here feels pretty surreal. I want to thank Flamgo for bringing the project to life visually before I even had a handle on what it should look like. And I want to thank everyone who nominated me. Fan work comes from a place of love for the source material, so it's great when the community notices it. I feel like I'm legally obligated to thank my mom, and she's always supported me anyway, so she fits right in. Thanks again for the nomination, and I'm grateful to be included here.
Simmons, I don't know if anyone told you this, but Squishy Hugger Worlds was finished into a fan fiction, and it won.
What?
And you are credited for it, so congratulations, you have won for Squishy Hugger Worlds.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much to all the people who still believe in that story. Since you finished it, it saved me a lot of time.
There you go. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, Emily here, or Tallest Rose, as I'm known on the Soapy Waffles forums.
Hey guys, my name is Emily Satterfield, and I'm one of the co-founders of the Soapy Waffles fan animation project. I'm really honored to be here today to present the nominees and the winner of the Invader Zim Awards for fan animations of 2025. Now, before I get into that portion of this, I was asked to share a little bit about the Soapy Waffles project, what opportunities that led to, and some things beyond that. So let's get into it. Long before I was ever an Invader Zim fan, I always wanted to be in the animation industry. One thing led to another. I eventually found out about the series actually through this box set right here. My older sister gifted this to me, best gift ever, and I binge watched the crap out of the show. I loved it. But the thing about this DVD box set is that it had an extras disc that contained episodes that were never made, the voice acting, and the scripts for several episodes that just never got finished because the Invader Zim show, as we all know, was canceled pretty abruptly. And that lit an idea in me like, okay, there's all this material that I could work with. All it needs is visuals, so why not be the one to add that? You know, I can draw a little bit, so let me practice. Not only get practice in, but make something that's meaningful to a lot of people. And that was the basis of how this all got started. So throughout high school, me, my co-founder Sarah, editing Emily here, I just wanted to interject really quick because I lost some footage when I was editing, but this was really important, so I needed to quickly re-record this part. Sarah Schaefer, as well as her father John Schaefer, they made the Soapy Waffles project looks so incredible. They masterfully emulated the Invader Zim cleanup style. Their line quality, the color styling, truly the project would not have looked as incredible as it was without their work on it. It would not be what it is without them. And so be sure to give them both a shout out in the Discord. They're really amazing and deserve all the recognition. So thank you. Back to the video. And then a few folks who came along the way to contribute. Shout out to Tom Resnick, he's our phenomenal sound guy. He actually reached out to Kevin Manthe, who's the original composer of Invader Zim, and was able to get his input on composing the music, the score for Mopiness of Doom. So it really did feel like such a legitimate project. Like, wow, this feels like an original animation. In fact, I don't know if I ever shared this with anybody, but we presented the first preview of the episode at the Invader Zim convention in 2011 in Atlanta, Georgia. And so I knew the project looked pretty good. You know, as good as what high schoolers could do with Adobe Flash and a budget of $0, right? There were a few visitors at this convention that worked on the Invader Zim series, one of which was Eric Trueheart, who's one of the famed writers. He came up to, I had a little table there. He came up to my booth and he saw a preview of the project. And for a split second, he was like, wait, I didn't know they actually animated this. They actually made this? I had no idea. And that was such a validating moment that we had done a really good job. And sure, the animation is not perfect. We were not experienced artists, but we had a lot of heart and we worked really, really hard to make the best thing that we possibly could at the time. And a side note, he kind of gave us a bit of a shout out in one of the Invader Zim comic books. If you go to issue 18, there's a panel that one of the characters is talking to a character who's supposed to be me, and it's the Taco Man. He's like, Emily Rose, my favorite customer. And that is my first and middle name, Emily Rose. And that was Eric Trueheart's way of kind of giving a wink and a nod to the Soapy Waffles project. And I thought that was really cool. So yeah, check out Invader Zim comic book issue 18 to see that for yourself. It was so cool to work on a project that was so widely recognized, not only in the Invader Zim animation community, but in animation as a whole. I didn't know it would be that. Truly, what I wanted was to make something that would be meaningful to people, which I guess it did the job, you know, that was the goal. But I really just wanted a way of practicing my work and being able to get a job in the industry. And lo and behold, it worked. So I didn't get a direct job in the animation industry through the project. It took a little detour. But the project did help me land a scholarship to Savannah College of Art and Design, which is the school that I went to for their animation program. And because I was able to be in their animation program, at the time I was able to apply and successfully get into the Nickelodeon internship program. And that was my gateway into working in Los Angeles in the animation industry. If that gives you any hope at all that you know, some country bumpkin living in South Carolina who had no connections, nothing, was able to get a job in the industry in Los Angeles and live there successfully for several years working in the industry, anything is possible, truly. Yeah, that's a little bit about my story. And fast forward to now, it's when you get to be my age, I'm in my mid-30s now, I look back and I've done a lot of really cool things in my career. I'm really proud of everything I've gotten to be a part of. But the Zim animations that I worked on, it still holds such a special place in my heart because it was something, I didn't have to do it for a job. It was something that I was really excited to do because there was something about the Invader Zim show that really resonated with me, and I really wanted to continue to bring that show to life. It is so cool that all these years later, the Invader Zim community is still alive and well. It is so incredible to see new artists rise up like yourselves. You're making Invader Zim fan animations. I'm really excited to see that spark still alive and well, and to see the passion and everything that you guys are creating. I hope that you'll continue to make incredible works of art, whether it's Invader Zim related or not. Keep creating. And now, with that said, it is my honor to present the nominees for the Best Invader Zim Fan Animation Collabs of 2025. So I'm going to read these off one by one. First, we have Return of Keith by Zero Mochi Zero and Roddy Rondo. Next, we have Squishy Hugger of Worlds, the concept art version, by Invader Zim Lost and Found. Third, we have Invader Punchi by Zim Reanimate Project. And finally, Zim Eats Waffles Reanimated by Zim Reanimate Project. All of your work is incredible. You all did a phenomenal job. And the winner of the Invader Zim Fan Animation Collab of 2025 is Invader Punchi by the Zim Reanimate Project. Yay! Yay! Woo! Alright, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for having me. And congratulations again to the winner and to the nominees. You all did an incredible job. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.
everybody on the Invader Punchi team. I want to wish you luck. And if you don't do a good job animating Invader Punchi, guess who's gonna get it? The Dib Monster. No, Zim. Not this time.
No. Hi, this is Maximized Animation. I just want to say thank you so much for voting Invader Punchi as the best Zim animation collab of 2025. I'm super proud of how it turned out, and I want to thank all the artists and animators who helped to bring it to life. I couldn't have done it without you.
I was at some comedy thing and a fan said, "Why don't you guys do Invader Zim again?"
I love that
Hello, I'm Ricky Simons, the voice of Grr and Invader Zim, and I've been given this piece of paper. I hear that there's awards. It says a lot of people try to imitate our character voices. It's true, I never get it right. It's true, because those are me. Me is the voice of Grr, and Richard is the voice of Zim. That's what we sound like. But I'm here to announce the fake voice imitations that suck the least. And the nominees are Bryce Barnett as Grr. Good job, Bryce. No idea what you sound like.
And doggies, and humans, and pomegranates.
Flam goes Crash Pad as Dib. Doesn't sound like a real name.
Look at him, Gaz. He doesn't like the cafeteria food. Oh, just one more then. What are you scared of?
Lovely Bunny as Gaz. Wow. First name Lovely, last name Bunny.
This is just like the Loch Ness Monster and the Bigfoot thing. It's always something.
Lovely Bunny as Tack. Wow. There's two people named Lovely Bunny.
Ship! I've been captured! I am in need of rescue immediately. My location is Mooping 10.
Flamgo's Crash Pad as Zim. Wow, there's two people named Flamgo.
Germ-free. Impressive for a human. Perhaps I will allow you to toil in my salt mines when I enslave the planet.
And the winner is Flamgo's Crash Pad as Zim. I hope you enjoy the Zim Awards and happy 25th anniversary of Invader Zim. You stink piggies.
Hello, everyone. Ooh, it seems the humans have bowed before Zim just as I expected. Yet another step closer to ruling this pathetic dirt sphere. Excellent work, me.
Hi, everyone! My spine! Ow! Hi, everyone! Flame Goes Crash Pad here. I am not filming in my car, and I wanted to thank you all so much for voting for my Zim impression. Honestly, this little bug is just so special to me, and I never thought I would be able to voice him, especially here in Invader Zim Lost and Found of all places. It took months of training, but I'm just so proud to be able to, I guess, call myself his voice actor right now, and it just makes me so happy, and Zim is my absolute favorite character, and I'm absolutely honored. Thank you all so much, and excuse the pool noodles, that's all I could have for decoration. Ow! Oh my god, that actually hurt.
Prepare your gurgling child bellies for the awesome eventuality of dinner!
Hi, I'm Elzabels, Storyboard Extraordinaire. Storyboards. They're the foundation behind every visual story in any medium, live action or animated. They're also the perfect vessel to mess around in and make yourself laugh. Invader Zim is no different in this department. Many of its funniest and most memorable moments come from the visuals that all start in the storyboard stage. Zim fans have toiled away in the storyboard mines to deliver some of the most creative sequences known to mankind. Okay, let's cut to the chase. This is the category for Most Creative Fan-Made Invader Zim Storyboard. The nominees are as follows. Maximum Suckage by Flamgo's Crash Pad.
I need maximum suckage!
Cute Laser by Hibiscus.
Assume position, Gur. Yes! Master!
Gur's Button Dance by Lady Zeno. Insert Space Battle Here by Flame Goes Crashpad and Kaya. Gur Falls Back to Earth by Bryce Barnett and Flame Goes Crashpad.
Gur! Let go! Don't make me press the button! Nickel!
And the Zim Award goes to Maximum Suckage by Flame Goes Crashpad.
Oh! Hi! Hey everyone, I'm glad you all liked my Maximum Suckage storyboard / animatic thing. It's one of my earliest animatics, but it seems to have done very well. I'm honored to have been able to lay out such a meaningful part of Squishy Hugger of Worlds, and I'm even more honored that it entertained you all to maximum levels. I'll continue to do so once I animate that same scene fully in the complete version of Squishy Hugger of Worlds. Stay tuned. Now, sorry to disturb you, by the way, let me just put you back.
Congratulations to all the nominees, and especially to Flame Goes Crashpad.
Let's talk about fan creations. We love them, we share them, we see them as the works of art that they rightfully are, but we tend to overlook one element that is surprisingly not talked about often: their humor. As the saying goes, drama is easy, comedy is hard, and when a creation intended to be funny delivers on that promise, that's something special that deserves to be recognized. In this category, we look at and reward some of the funniest creations we witnessed within the last year. And the nominees are Grr! They Turned You Into Ground Beef by Lady Zeno.
They've turned you into ground beef! Oh, why?
Poochie! Dinner's Ready by Snickers of Zim Reanimate Project.
Dinner's ready!
Maximum Suckage by Flam Goes Crashpad.
Computer, I need maximum suckage!
Cute Laser by Hibiscus. And Mocking the Zim Wiki by Lady Zeno.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the f*** up.
And the winner is... Grr! They Turned You Into Ground Beef by Lady Zeno!
Here's something funnier than ground beef, Gur. That animation actually wasn't drawn with the intention of being comedic. A rare tear from Zim and him holding Gur close were actually drawn with the intention of angsty fan service. There are few things the Zim girlies love more than seeing that bug sad. But in the end, when that angst is given Richard Horvitz' hammy performance in the absurdity of ground beef, it becomes hilariously stupid. A tragedy winning a comedy category is so fitting for Invader Zim's flavor of humor. And I thank you all for loving my animation so dearly.
Congratulations to Lady Zeno for making an iconic quote more iconic with your animation. And congratulations to all the nominees. Meme culture will never die in the Zim fandom, so let's thrive to make more people laugh.
This has nothing to do with jelly. I was the turkey all along!
My head's not big! Why does everyone keep saying that?
I will plunge you into a nightmare world from which there is no waking.
These are just some of the official quotes from Invader Zim that we've been quoting for many years. Tonight, however, we are presenting memorable quotes that us fans have made last year. We are still quoting them to this day and will most likely continue to do so many years later. So, here are the nominees for most memorable fan-made Zim quote.
Planet Beach? That was my favorite planet consisting of beach.
Computer, I need maximum suckage!
I wish I knew the answer. And I do!
I don't even know what Christmas is! Really learning Spanish right now? You bore me, Dib.
And the winner is... Computer, I need maximum suckage from Squishy Hugger of Worlds!
Computer, I need maximum suckage!
Time for another amazing plan from me! Guys, that's a funny name! My name's Tech. My name's Keith.
Nobody escapes from Sizzlor.
Baby Scooch!
I'm gay, but who's that? The almighty toy!
I don't know.
Hello everyone, Tallest Sarah here. Well, the Invader Zim Lost and Found Tallest Sarah. I'm not the original Tallest Sarah. Anyway, I am very excited to be here and to be announcing the best Invader Zim original character.
Invader Zim has some of the most beloved characters ever in Invader Zim. So much so that the fans needed to create even more beloved characters that they wish were in Invader Zim. We picked 5 original characters we thought were the most beloved.
All of these are super hard to narrow down. All of you are talented. Don't take this too seriously. There's always other years. Don't give up. Keep trying, and maybe you'll get nominated one day.
Everyone that didn't get picked didn't make the cut, and you should have tried harder.
But, alas, we have to have 5 nominees. So here we go. Here are the nominees and the winner of Best Invader Zim Original Character. The first nominee is Squishy by Park Fever. The next original character is Orion the Leader by Flamgo. Next is Mercury Membrane from Night at the Cat. Next we have Invader Raz from Xeno. And last we have Tallest Molly. And the winner is Orion the Leader from Flamgo. The leader? Why, that would be me.
The leader? Ugh. Ugh. Why, that would be me.
Congratulations to Flamgo. You did it. You made a really great character that is now an icon for Squishy Hugger of Worlds. And once again, congratulations to all of the nominees, and I look forward to getting even more nominees next year.
A long time ago, I ran into a collective of writers, and these writers were determined to make an episode remembered across the universe. A group set on dictation, no, retaliation, for Invader Zim, that was once destroyed by budget cuts. They had the heart, but lacked visuals, concept art, and character design. One day, I decided to become more than a temporary voice actor for Dib, and I revealed that I could draw. With this, I decided to have a go at designing the Squishy Armada, and And it seems that people love it now, because my design for Orion, the leader, has won the category for Best Original Character, and oh my god, I'm actually honored. So yeah, along with Orion, I'd also designed pretty much the whole Squishy Armada, but the whole reason Orion exists is pretty much just so we could do a Skyrim reference. But that's a story for another time. What I will say now is thank you all so much for, like, I guess enjoying my horse guy design. I guess enjoying horses throughout my whole childhood paid off, and he's now the Tumblr sexy man at the server. Yeah! Thank you all! And we hope to do more with him someday.
It's time to bounce.
That's great and all, Orion. But don't you have an acceptance speech for yourself?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
That would make you feel fabulous!
No! The pants aren't free.
Rest easy, various retail outlets. Sergeant Slab Rankle is on the job.
When you love something so much, what do? That's right, buy merchandise of it. And Invader Zim has no shortage of merch. The only problem? 95% of it is hogged by Gur. Yet many beloved characters such as Dib, Gaz, and especially Tak don't get that kind of love. The solution? Online shops for fan-made merchandise created by talented artists. And we're here to celebrate said shops for giving the fans what they truly want. Here are the nominees for Best Transformative Fan Workshop. Ricky Simons, Snazzy Rat Creations, Banana Zim, Anushka Toys, and Braille Studios Art. And the winner is Snazzy Rat Creations!
Greetings, fellow humans. Tom Kroom here, aka the creator of InvaderCon, the one-time only Invader Zim convention that happened twice, and then one more time after that. Anyway, InvaderCon was something really special to a lot of fans of Invader Zim, and I'm honored to be here today to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the enduring cartoon that is Invader Zim. Now, we know it's the 25th anniversary, and the team here at Green Mustard have been looking at ways to potentially celebrate it in our own unique way. I can't make any announcements yet. Just know that there are conversations happening potentially for this coming summer, so stay tuned. That said, let's talk about the fans. At InvaderCon, we had some of the most amazing Invader Zim cosplays. We would host costume contests, and judges would pick a winner, but this time, you, the fans, got to vote for your favorite Invader Zim cosplay for 2025. So for the Zim Awards, we thought it was only fitting that I help announce this year's nominees for Best Invader Zim themed cosplay. So the nominees are Dramatic Pause, Dib by Sarah Macau, Zim by Zombified, Gur by Farrakos, Tak by Nightbat the Cat, and then Gaz by Ectorites. Those are a lot of syllables. All right. And so another dramatic pause. And the winner is Zim by Zombified. Congratulations to you, and happy 25th anniversary to all you filthy humans.
Hey, how you doing? Control Brain Johnny here.
I can't tell you what an incredible thrill it is to take part in the Zim Awards, to celebrate the creativity, passion, and commitment of a fandom that changed the trajectory of my life forever. I've been in the fandom since the weekend the show debuted, when I was 9 years old. It remains my all-time favorite TV series. Now, as a kid, I had kept to myself for the most part, sticking to lurking and browsing content rather than actively contributing. But from my college years onward, I've had the pleasure of networking and collaborating with all sorts of fans for various projects. Some highlights include panels at InvaderCon 3, leading the weekly episode discussions for the InvaderCon Discord channel, helping develop a pitch for a potential licensed product, generally making myself available for any research or fact-checking fans may need for their podcasts, blogs, animation projects. The commitments have varied in duration wildly, though. Like, once I was fielding art applications for Soapy Waffles for half a second, and now I've been moderating the Invader Zim subreddit for half an eternity. So having an eclectic presence in different pockets of the fandom, I suppose an overarching theme to all of this is one simple question. How can you help? And of course, this builds up to my proudest, yet frankly overstated, involvements in the fandom. I was a part of the moderator team as a sort of consultant turned caretaker for my favorite fan project in the history of Invader Zim, Operation Head Pigeons, or OHP for short. There's no concise way to tell their story without feeling like I've done them an injustice, so perhaps a video essay in the future is in order. Anyways, OHP was a fan-driven grassroots campaign to get Invader Zim back in production in the early 2010s. It was started by a young fan known as Tallest Sarah. She was joined by her first co-mod, Tallest Carissa. Then, of course, the OG moderators known as the Control Brains, Hillary, Rel, Jackie, Magenta, Kester, Alex, Milo, Rachel, and Chelsea. Then, new special assistants from folks like Lilith, Caitlin Jane, Kim, Marcy, Dan, Peter, Cassia, and myself. And then, of course, Invader Force support team commanders Brennan, Dustin, Tom, and Zoe. This movement started in response to the series creator confirming he was interested in returning to World of Zim for perhaps a few special episodes, and that Nickelodeon had been considering a revival, but deemed it too expensive. OHP organized fan greeting card mailings, drew fan art, and did live streams to raise awareness, and took every opportunity they could to show Nickelodeon that there was a demand for a revival on Jonan Vasquez's terms. Their page amassed 10,000 followers, and the collective voice was so undeniable that even Nick's social media team had acknowledged them unprompted in a tweet during a Nicktoons marathon. I'm not saying it's like the C-suite knew about that, but clearly someone felt safe enough to write that and not think they'd lose their job. Most importantly, they coordinated a fan mail campaign called Project Massive. They designed a website to give the fandom their marching orders on how to get more Zim greenlit. They networked to the most influential Zim fans of the time, enlisting them and amplifying their voices. They took on the tidal waves of skeptical criticism and trolling. They fought for better merch along the way, and then they rung in the start of Project Massive at InvaderCon 2012 with a charity twist on the old send stuff to save the show formula. Attendees can make a donation to Toys of Hope in exchange for special eye-catching envelopes like these. Art by Anna Maria Bryant. We call her Lilith now. Anna Maria is her professional name. Inside was a voucher in Nickelodeon's name. Did it work? Yes, but at a very slow pace. By the time it made the impact we wanted, Jonan was pitching a new show and developing an animated short based on his Squeak character. The signs were there that Nick was listening, but we had to take comfort knowing the door was open for more Zim, so long as it was a fair fit for the creatives involved, too. The comics and subsequent film was the validation and culmination of years of passion and drive. As for my story, I vaguely recall getting involved after sending some encouragement and insight about Zim history in the comments, and especially after the mods were facing a bit of toxicity one day. I guess that and some other comments made an impression, and after some further trust was built, they welcomed me into a circle of camaraderie. I remember that I felt so delighted that a new generation of fans was shining a bright page in the fandom's history. Not every fan space and every fandom is going to be upbeat, especially with a sardonic, dark, satirical show. Usually, when I was a kid, the fans of Zim in the pockets I was frequenting were a bit too cool for school and figuring out how to be confident without being condescending and upholding their boundaries without being abrasive. So all the more, I felt obliged to look after this bright ray of hope. And having said that, my contributions was, besides being, as one teammate called it, a buffer or guard dog of sorts from the creeps, I was in college, these kids were in high school, and it helps to have this protective older brother type of sorts. I was mostly being an advice and PR guy, while the tallest and control brains were doing the heavy lifting. Frankly, I think they would have done absolutely fine without me, and it's really nice that they had me along for the ride. So I developed strategies for getting better Zim merch released, as we had to wait for the second InvaderCon in order to launch Project Massive, but even then, Control Brain Caitlin was the one who got us a huge opportunity to be official guest judges for the first official Invader Zim T design contest. Anyways, it was an honor and privilege to stand beside the Control Brains, the tallest, Invader Force, and more, both digitally and at InvaderCon 2. It's led to some wonderful friendships, the rapport and respect of some childhood heroes, and memories to last a lifetime. I've learned a lot from them. As I already had experience as a youth center volunteer, it was important to me to keep in mind that you're never done learning, especially from people younger than you. I wish I could say I was in touch with everyone, but wherever they are, and however they're applying their talents and skills that they've no doubt been honing in the past 15 years, I trust they're doing good, and I hope they're doing well. I'm very proud of them. So having those experiences, Bryce Barnett asked me to speak about the power of fandom, as we've had conversations about the future of Invader Zim and what fans can do if they want to see more stories from that world of Zim, made on the series creators' terms, whatever they may be in the future, if Jonin was interested in returning one day. Maybe it could be a spin-off like Mysterious Mysteries. It could be a Florpus sequel. He could just dial back the show helming, to just do writing if he wanted. Or he could just never do it again. Whatever. 55 comics and a movie is great for me. But obviously, if you like to keep that door open, obviously you know the standard stuff like supporting official releases, whether it's watching the movie on Netflix, buying digital versions of the comics, Paramount Plus for the episodes, streaming, and, voting with your wallet on the kinds of merch you genuinely enjoy having. But please don't forget that our hobbies are a great way of telegraphing to networks that we're exploitable by capitalism. What I mean is, back in 2001, Zim fan sites and forums, plus the sheer volume of submissions to sites like fanfiction.net and DeviantArt was referred to when Media Blasters pitched Invader Zim DVDs to Nickelodeon. Us fans just having fun, sharing our passions, exploring our creativity, collecting trivia, providing useful and novel services, all while making friends. To me, that was the secret sauce of the franchise's success, more than any dog suit Gur sweater ever could. Taking a page from OHP, I would say network with other fan projects as you start your own. Not in a fan project? Raise your hand and ask, how can I help? Outreach and exchange of ideas is great for everybody. After all, now I feel that the beating heart of Invader Zim fandom content is art, but I think the more informative side of fandom could use a bit more nutrition. I'd like to see more research projects, more archival work, more bloggers, more interview podcasts, more video essays, and I'd like to see credible sources where you show your research and not use conjecture. I'm not saying anybody, but I'm saying some people. myself included, just until last week, I thought that Battle Royale was referenced by Dark Harvest. It was a pure coincidence. So, as much as people rag on certain resources, no one's immune from misinformation. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is information empowers and inspires, because I can't draw or write. I could if I practiced. But I sure love info dumping, as you can see. And that's helpful. We need information to keep the things going, you know? Having said all of that, it's time now to segue. I have to present the final award, and I can't do this alone. So I think it's time I call up an old friend. Now, she's on vacation, and she's been preparing for it when we arranged for this. So...
Hiya, Johnny.
My tallest!
Great to check in after, 14 years.
Hey kids, it's tallest Carissa. Applause. Hi Carissa, so we talked about the Zim Awards, and I know you're busy with vacation, hope you're having a wonderful time. And I figured for this year, as I'm about to present the final award, Zim of the Year, maybe we could figure something out that fits your schedule, like reading the nominees for me?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, great. I'll have them sent right now while I introduce the final category, because this is totally a real phone call and not something we scripted in advance.
Well, that makes sense.
Okay. So, folks, the final award is for Zim of the Year. These nominees embody the spirit of Zim fandom through perseverance, commitment, tenacity, creativity, and influence. And I just happen to have a Project Massive envelope on hand for the occasion. All right, old friend, you ready? The nominees for Zim of the Year are
Maximized Animation, Lady Zeno, Nightbat the Cat, Flamingo's Crash Pad,
and the winner is... Flamgo's Crash Pad! Congratulations! Alright, that's all the time we've got. I've got to go play Nicktoons MLB on my Nintendo 3DS.
Hello everyone, Flamgo's Crash Pad here, and I finally have a handheld mic. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for voting me as Zim of the Year. I genuinely was not expecting to win Zim of the Year. I thought it would go to someone who was more active in the fandom for even longer. I just got here in January of last year. And so for this, I wanted to give the biggest shout out to the person who was in second place, and that is Lady Zeno. Lady Zeno has... Lady Zeno has worked her ass off for this project, like I have, but I think she deserves just as much recognition as I do.
I mean, you did beat me by one singular point. You know what? I'll eat cake to that. Cheers!
Zeno is kind of my second wing for this project, and we all could not thank her enough for everything she's done. So I'd like to share this victory with her as well. So with that being said, I'm Flamgo's Crash Pad, and you're watching the Zim Awards. Thought that would work. We need more sparklers. Yeah! Yeah! 2 words! More sparklers! Yeah!
Thank you everyone for tuning into the Zim Awards. Submit your nominees for next year because that is going to be the biggest Zim Award show of all time. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much. And until next time, later days.